Shiba Inu SHIB Price Prediction and News 2026. What's next? In late July, SHIB Coin unexpectedly surged by nearly 40% in just 2 days. After several relatively quiet months, one of the market's most recognizable meme coins suddenly returned to the spotlight. Trading volume climbed sharply, social media activity intensified, and expectations of a new cycle quickly began to emerge. However, the excitement did not last long. Just 1 day later, SHIB fell by around 7% and continued to give back much of its recent gains. This price action once again showed that SHIB can rise very quickly when capital returns, but maintaining that momentum is a much more difficult challenge. So, what did the recent surge actually change for the SHIB price prediction, and does SHIB still have a solid basis for recovery in 2026? Let's break it down in this video with Crypto Radar. Crypto Radar. Between July 25th and 26th, the SHIB price rose from around 0.00000041 to approximately 0.00000058, representing a gain of nearly 40%. However, the rally was not accompanied by any clear catalyst from the project itself. During the same period, the Shiba Inu Coin team did not announce any major upgrades or ecosystem developments significant enough to fundamentally change market expectations. Many other meme coins also failed to record gains of a similar magnitude, suggesting that this move was relatively specific to SHIB rather than part of a broader rally across the entire meme coin sector. Since no single confirmed cause has been identified, a more reasonable approach is to examine the signals that emerged alongside the price increase. One of the most notable signals came from the South Korean market. As SHIB began to rise sharply, Upbit's SHIB/KRW pair became the single largest market, generating approximately $62 million in trading volume and accounting for more than 1/10 of global volume. The SHIB price on the exchange was also slightly higher than on several other markets, reflecting relatively strong spot buying demand. The price action partly aligned with Asian trading hours, with an initial push late on Saturday, followed by approximately 9 hours of sideways movement and then a second move during the Asian morning session. This timing suggests that activity on Upbit may have helped extend the rally, although there is still not enough evidence to conclude that South Korean traders directly initiated the move. Alongside the increase in liquidity, large wallet activity also became more noticeable. While the price was still rising, Sentiment recorded 52 large transactions in a single day, the highest number since March 31st. However, most of these transactions occurred only after SHIB had already gained significantly, so it cannot be concluded that whales accumulated beforehand and directly triggered the rally. In reality, large transactions during a rising market can reflect two completely different behaviors. Some major holders may continue buying into the momentum, while others may use the newly available liquidity to take profits. The fact that the SHIB token quickly gave back part of its gains suggests that selling pressure emerged as market activity intensified. Retail investors also appeared to enter relatively late. SHIB's share of social media discussions rose to around 0.084%, its highest level since early April, but it peaked only after the price had already increased sharply. This suggests that growing public interest and more optimistic SHIB price prediction discussions were most likely reactions to the price movement rather than the original reasons behind it. This is a familiar pattern among meme coins. The price rises, positive SHIB price prediction discussions begin to spread, community attention grows following favorable SHIB news, and fear of missing out draws additional capital into the market. This process can amplify upward momentum in the short term, but it can also make the price vulnerable to a reversal when new inflows are no longer strong enough to absorb profit-taking pressure. And SHIB is not the only meme coin facing this question. Dogecoin is also trying to prove whether renewed market attention can turn into sustained demand. If you're interested in Doge, check out Crypto Radar's Dogecoin analysis for a closer look at what could come next. Overall, there is still no evidence that SHIB's rally was driven by a single catalyst. The move mainly reflected short-term trading momentum rather than a fundamental change within the project. Even so, the surge showed that SHIB has not lost its ability to attract capital. The more important question is whether Shiba Inu crypto can turn that attention into genuine and sustainable demand for the token. That is exactly what Crypto Radar will examine in the next section. The fact that SHIB is still being discussed after multiple market cycles is something most meme coins have failed to achieve. Since its launch in 2020, Shiba Inu has experienced periods of sharp price increases and declines, yet it has maintained a large community, strong liquidity, and a presence on most major exchanges. This is a significant advantage in SHIB coin analysis. Whenever the price begins to move, SHIB can quickly return to the spotlight on social media, searches for SHIB price prediction can surge, and positive Shiba Inu coin news can appear across the market. The late July increase showed that even though SHIB is no longer a new meme coin, it can still attract attention and generate significant volatility when capital returns. However, its brand, community, and liquidity mainly explain why SHIB has survived. They do not answer the more important question: what could help the altcoins market sustain a higher valuation for the token over the long term? In the previous cycle, SHIB's narrative was relatively simple. It was a hot meme coin with a rapidly growing community, a price containing many zeros, and ambitious expectations such as the 1 cent target. In an environment filled with speculative capital, an easily shareable narrative was sometimes enough to attract more buyers. By 2026, however, the novelty factor has almost disappeared. The market already knows what the Shiba Inu token is, how large its supply is, and which products its ecosystem has developed. Therefore, to enter a new valuation cycle, Shiba Inu needs to provide a more convincing reason than simply being a well-known meme coin. A supply of nearly 589 trillion tokens makes this challenge even more difficult. Even a relatively small increase in price could add significantly to SHIB's market capitalization. To maintain a higher price range, the coin needs more than a brief period of excitement. It must also attract sufficiently large and sustained demand. In addition, tokens purchased at higher price levels could become a source of selling pressure in the future. When the price recovers, some investors may use the opportunity to exit their positions or recover their initial capital, slowing the upward momentum. In other words, SHIB does not lack recognition. What it lacks is a mechanism capable of converting attention into stable demand for the token. Shibarium is considered one of the most important tools for addressing this challenge. It is a Layer 2 network designed to provide fast, low-cost transactions and infrastructure for decentralized finance, NFTs, gaming, and other Web3 applications. According to data recorded when Crypto Radar produced this video, the network had processed more than 1.56 billion transactions and registered nearly 270 million addresses. These figures show that Shibarium is operational and has generated significant activity at certain points. However, they do not mean that this Layer 2 network has hundreds of millions of real users. One person can create multiple addresses, while bots and automated smart contracts can also generate a very large number of transactions. Therefore, clearer indicators of the network's health include the number of daily users, the amount of assets deposited into applications, actual trading volume, fee revenue, and user retention. These are the metrics that can reveal whether Shibarium is building a sustainable economy or merely recording occasional periods of sudden growth. But even if the number of users and transactions increases, another question still needs to be answered. How will the use of Shibarium create demand for SHIB? On Shibarium, BONE is the ecosystem's governance token, not SHIB. Therefore, when network activity increases, BONE is the first token to benefit directly rather than SHIB crypto. This does not mean that Shibarium provides no benefits to SHIB. At present, the token burning mechanism is the clearest connection between activity on Shibarium and the SHIB supply. A portion of the base fees is accumulated in BONE and can later be converted to purchase and burn SHIB. In theory, the more Shibarium is used, the more SHIB is removed from circulation. The issue lies in scale. Low fees are an advantage of Shibarium for users, but they also mean that each transaction contributes only a small amount to the token burning process. Given the enormous supply of SHIB coin, the network would need to maintain a very high volume of transactions over an extended period to create a meaningful change. Therefore, the increase in the token burn rate on a single day should not be viewed in isolation. What matters more is whether the total amount of SHIB removed from circulation after several months or years is significant relative to the overall supply. If this amount remains too small, the burning mechanism will mainly create psychological and marketing effects rather than meaningfully changing the balance between supply and demand. Beyond Shibarium, products such as Shiba Eternity, the Metaverse, NFTs, and ShibDAO could also expand the project's range of use cases. However, they will only provide direct support for SHIB if they attract enough users and integrate the token into activities such as payments, transactions, or supply burning. Overall, its brand and community have helped Shiba Coin maintain a position that most meme coins have failed to preserve. Shibarium and other products within the ecosystem also provide an opportunity for Shiba Inu to move beyond the image of a simple meme coin. However, to sustain a higher valuation, the project still needs to prove that the growth of its ecosystem can generate sufficiently strong demand for SHIB. This is also why SHIB price prediction for 2026 should be evaluated through multiple scenarios rather than being tied to a single price target. Looking at the chart, SHIB is still capable of delivering strong price surges. However, after each recovery, the price has usually reversed and failed to return to the peak levels suggested by previous Shiba Inu Coin prediction forecasts. In late 2021, SHIB reached nearly $0.00009 as the crypto market rallied strongly and the meme coin wave exploded. After that wave cooled down, the price entered a sharp downtrend, while subsequent increases only produced lower highs. In early 2024, the price briefly exceeded $0.000045, but the increases in late 2024 and early 2025 only reached around $0.000033 before SHIB continued to decline. At the time Crypto Radar produced this Shiba Inu Technical Analysis Today video, SHIB was trading at approximately $0.000046, nearly 95% below its 2021 peak. This performance shows that the long-term trend has not truly changed. The surge in late July should also be viewed within this broader context. The price jumped from around $0.000041 to $0.000058, but quickly reversed. Buying pressure was strong enough to trigger a major price move, but not strong enough to help SHIB remain at higher levels. In the short term, the area between $0.000040 and $0.000046 is worth watching, because SHIB previously traded sideways there before the late July surge, and the price is now falling back toward this zone. If the price continues to drop below this area, the risk of further weakness will increase, and Shiba Inu price prediction forecasts will become more negative. In the opposite direction, the area between $0.000058 and $0.000060 is the first resistance zone because it marked the peak of the most recent increase. However, breaking above this area would still not be enough to confirm a trend reversal. The greater challenge lies at $0.0001, which is also the highest price SHIB has reached this year. Further ahead, the area between $0.00003 and $0.000045 marked the peaks of previous recovery cycles. From its current price, SHIB would need to increase several times over to return to this region. That distance shows that a few short-term surges would not be enough. The coin would need a significant inflow of capital that could be sustained for a much longer period. Within the context of 2026, the path toward a brighter outlook for Shiba Inu Coin news today still faces many obstacles. The altcoin market has not yet become truly active. Capital continues to rotate from one narrative to another, and many price increases last only for a short period. Therefore, SHIB may still experience powerful rebounds, but continued price fluctuations at lower levels remain more realistic than an early move into a long-term bull cycle. This risk becomes even clearer because Shiba Inu news today still focuses heavily on SHIB's identity as a meme coin, leaving its price highly dependent on market attention and investor sentiment. For this reason, to preserve its position over the long term, the project needs to attract more real users to its ecosystem, develop products that are used regularly, and most importantly, turn that growth into clearer demand for SHIB. Overall, SHIB may still experience strong price movements in 2026. However, until the price can retain most of its gains after each increase and the ecosystem creates more reasons for users to hold or use SHIB, there is still not enough evidence to confirm a sustainable recovery trend. That is what Crypto Radar wanted to share about the outlook for SHIB news today in 2026. We hope you found today's video helpful. And as always, please remember that the content shared in this video is based on my own research and personal opinions and should not be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions and invest responsibly. Crypto Radar disclaims all responsibility related to the results of your transactions and your assets. If you found this Crypto News Today video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming altcoin news videos and crypto market analysis. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video here on Crypto Radar.